along the east coast of Africa, you have sand moving predominantly in a northward direction. That's due to the prevailing wind and currents that we have. So if you imagine the entrance channel to the port, that then restricts that northern flow of material. So there's always a maintenance requirement to go around the south breakwater, dredge that sand, and then to distribute that back onto the northern side. If we fail to do that, our beaches get eroded.
It's normal for the beaches to erode. We got to a stage now where the beaches were so bad that some of the buildings on the beaches were falling down. But there has to be some way of replenishing the sand on the beaches.
There is a formal agreement between the port and the municipality which specifies the amount of material that needs to be reclaimed onto the beaches. So over the past 10 years, Dredging Services has been involved in completing that work.
We noted that we only had 6 weeks to do the project, of which we had to pump 400,000 cubes as a planned volume onto the beaches.
But the problem is the sand that we give them can only go up to Addington Beach, and then they need to still get it to all the beaches that they're supposed to get it to.
And the only other alternative was to directly feed the beaches from the seaside. And we actually conducted a trial last year, which wasn't too smooth because the weather conditions weren't favorable. As you can imagine, we're bringing the dredger up to 700 meters of the shoreline. So we based just off the surf zone. It's an area where other ships try to stay away from. But in dredging, this is the kind of work that we'd be used to. So we knew theoretically it was possible. And we did a lot of pre-planning to make sure that the project would be a success.
What was most important was that planning phase, because we need to cover two factors which was most important, was to ensure that the port is dredged to the correct depth and the channels are open, while in that also taking the material to the beach.
So by dredging the entrance channel and using that sand on the beach, you got the entrance channel back down to normal depth and you got sand on the beaches at the same time.
So the municipality would then be responsible for employing a contractor to get that pipeline in place, and in order to manage the distribution of the sand on the beach. As you can imagine, when we pump sand, it's not just sand on its own. We require water to fluidize the material. So we pump a mixture of sand and water. And the idea is that you leave the sand behind on the beach and get rid of the water. So we devised a sort of a dam-like structure that we built that allowed the mixture to flow through the dam. In doing so, it reduces the velocity of the mixture, allows the sand to settle, and then also lets the water disperse.
We were constrained in terms of time, and obviously we had to plan around the weather quite a bit.
Our biggest challenges as we faced was the weather. As you know, working at sea, keeping the ship steady while we're reclaiming is always a huge obstacle. But with the experience of the dredge masters that we have, we are able to do that, overcome those challenges.
I think everybody understood the importance of the project, and everybody was working on the same objective.
It's their skill and expertise that we can thank for being able to complete this project.
I think it's an awesome initiative. I think firstly the support that we received from our executive manager and our senior management within Dredging Services to give us the opportunity to take on a challenge like this is good, and people really started appreciating what we're doing, and that of course makes us proud as well.
And at the end of the day, we as a ship, we are supposed to deliver, and we couldn't do that without the proper support. So with Transnet, Dredging Services Office, senior management, the support that they've given us in the municipality was actually excellent, I must say.
For the first time, we had only females that were actually operating, that were managing. So they also were so much encouraged to finish the projects and also have their own parts in saying that this is the project that we're also proud of. This is something that we do, so that going in future, everyone has got the method of doing it.
For us, it was a very important project from a technical point to prove that it could be done, because it was more with a long-term view in mind, in using the same process for our northern beaches in Umhlanga and Mshlochi, and even on the south side with Nancy Georgie. And for those projects, they're ideal because we can utilize our spare capacity on the dredges to do work locally, as well as saving the municipality from the cost of bringing in an overseas dredger. So it's nice to say it's good to have a successful project.